If you want to check out the stuff that I do in my own time, it's called Post-Apocalyptic Metal Treehouse. You can find it on YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, wherever the hell you get your podcasts, you can find it. It's a one-man sketch show where I play all the characters. I wrote it all and directed it all and put a load of sound effects on. It's basically a radio level thing, which is why it takes 3 months to make each episode. What? Fucking listen to it, all right? It took 3 months to make each episode. Listen to it because I deserve the likes.
This is the KillDozer Comedy Podcast, featuring true crime, amazing events, conspiracies, unsolved mysteries, and an array of weird and wonderful topics, all for your enjoyment. You're welcome.
And that proves that even people that you would trust with your life can, at some point, go fucking crazy.
Do you want to do your plugs as well, by the way? Or?
I'm always up for a good old plugging, Nathan. You know me.
Yeah. Go for a plug, dear boy.
Thank you. KD Comedy Inc., of course, all the shit on there, as always. We just had Comedian Quiz Off 34, the JJ takeover that me and Nathan were both in, which was a fucking...
That was brilliant, that episode.
That was great, to be fair. I'm going to ask Callum to take over a couple more because he did such an amazing job, to be honest.
Yeah, it was good.
Also, I am going to be starting up now the In Your House podcast too, not just going to be the In Your House comedy podcast anymore.
Ooh.
So this is the one where every week I would talk to a different person. I'm going to be doing that up again while going along with the KillDozer comedy too. It'll be the rest of the comedy that will fall on the backdrop. I need to tell Callum yet before this comes out. Yeah, but I will also be with that though. I won't just be talking to comedians. I'll just be bringing on a few interesting random people too with random shit to talk about, but mainly comedians still, so we can all chat some shit about stuff. I think that's everything.
Really? Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And more coming soon about a live comedy nights.
Yes, and I'm going to be getting back into that soon at some point as well. So there will be opportunities to see us both live in person, which will be fucking amazing.
Oh,
God damn,
yeah,
I can't wait.
I was on about the one like I was putting together to do, but then also you reminded me, the 3rd of June, I'll be at the Hollybush.
There you go.
You'll probably have to talk to Dave a bit nearer because God knows what the things will be like then in 2 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
The world could be nuked by then. Who knows? But let's find Dave.
The aliens will have returned and it'll all be fine. But you know who would survive if the world was nuked and the aliens turned up?
Who would?
A man called Marvin John Heemeyer. Now, yes. He probably wouldn't survive it now because he's very, very dead. And there's a friend of mine. There's a friend of mine who might be watching. Hello, Joe. This one's for you, buddy.
Yo, Joe.
Yeah, me and Joe have a particular joy of Marvin Heemeyer's work. Marvin Heemeyer Day as well, which is specifically Joe's favorite holiday. It's not a holiday yet. We're trying to make it a holiday.
Okay.
It's June the 4th every single year, and it's a day to stick that shit right up to the man.
Oh, it's coming up. Okay. I need to hear this story so I can get my preparations to celebrate and all that.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yes, man. So let's get a little bit of background, shall we?
Let's do that.
Marvin Heemeyer was born on October the 28th, 1951 in South Dakota. He lived in Grand Lake, Colorado, about 16 miles away from a place called Granby. According to a neighbor, Heemeyer moved into town more than 10 years before the incident. His friends stated that he had no relatives in the Granby Lake Grand Lake area. A friend of Heemeyer's said that he was a likable person. Heemeyer's brother Ken stated that he would bend over backwards for anyone. However, while many people described him as an affable person,
at least you know how he got his money then.
Yeah. Local resident Christy Baker claimed that her husband was threatened by Heemeyer after refusing to pay for a disputed muffler repair.
That sounds
to be
dirty.
fair, to me, that sounds fairly legit, to be fair. If you're not going to pay for a fucking repair for your muffler, then fuck you, dude. Quite frankly, Marvin should have fucked you up.
Yeah, seems fair to me. Yeah, should have bent
Yeah,
it
yeah.
around backwards. Took
Yeah,
them
goddamn
off.
right. Now, everything in Heemeyer's life was pretty standard. He was a fairly chilled out dude, as we've heard. Like, he's had a fucking bit of a problem with some bloke. He's you know, probably your average everyday dude. You know,
And this is like the 50s.
Yeah, this is 50s. So
I'm gonna.
no, that's when
I
he was
need to
born.
ask-
Sorry, that's when he
yeah.
was born. That's when he was born. Yeah.
I need to ask this. Muffler is for a car, right?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just assumed.
So we get to the actual issue here. Is a zoning dispute because in 1992 he purchased
It's always a
2
zoning
acres.
dispute.
I know, man.
It happens a lot, man.
It's like, yeah, especially in movies. It's like there has been a zoning dispute, and now your entire camp is going to be owned by this big industrial corporation unless you win a dance competition for money.
And it's just going to be like a Neighbours from Hell thing as well, by any chance.
Sort of, except Marvin is kind of the neighbor from hell, but in the best way possible. So he bought 2 acres of land from Resolution Trust Corporation, the federal agency organized to handle assets of failed savings and loan associations, for £42,000 to build a muffler shop. He subsequently agreed to sell the land to Cody Dochev to build a concrete batch plant, Mountain Park Concrete, for £250,000. So he's bought up a bit of land, sold it off, made a decent bit of profit. Not too bad, right? According to Susan Dochev, Heemeyer changed his mind and increased the price to £375,000, then to a deal worth approximately £1 million. Some believe in this negotiation. Yeah, I know.
That's an
Some
escalation.
people believe exactly. This is the problem. It's like it starts off like, okay, you can probably make a fair bit of money off of this, and it's like, no more money, no more money, no more money. Marvin, chill, Marvin.
I mean, maybe he just really lowballed it the first time. To be fair, that might have been nearer to the actual price.
It might well have been. In 2001, Granby's zoning commission and trustees approved the construction of the concrete plant. Heemeyer unsuccessfully appealed the decision, claiming the construction blocked access to his shop, which it did. It clearly did.
Okay.
He was subsequently fined $2,500 by the town council and a city judge for various violations, including not being hooked up to the sewer line.
I mean, that sounds like a pretty fair thing to be, brought up on. That's a pretty fair violation to be brought up on.
Yeah, just shitting into the open street. But
I think there was issues with that back in the olden times, maybe.
Yeah. This is the thing, though. He had initially been unable to connect to the sewer line as the line ran 60 feet away from his property, and the city expected him to pay the nearly 80 grand cost to connect it.
Well, yeah, I get that's kind of sucky, but then if you didn't want to do that, don't start a business there.
Okay.
That was the place that it was always where he decided, I'm going to make this business from here. That was always a place that was 80 feet away from it, or 80 however much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I suppose, I'm guessing it was a place he already owned beforehand, did you say?
Yeah, he'd owned it for a while.
I mean, still though, even if they're going to pay, I can see either way. I can see why he'd be pissed off about that as well, just for the fact that they are telling him to do. When it's like, well, he probably figured out a way to do it without being connected to the sewage line. Maybe have his own tanker, for example. Yeah, no, you have to do it this way. I could see that. I'm getting stuck in the wrong details, aren't I?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah, my bad.
So he was refusing to pay for the muffler repair. Zoning dispute. Yeah, okay. So he's fucked up. He's got all of his money invested into this place. He's not getting his money back out. The zoning dispute's fucked. His shop's fucked. He can't get the money to sort out the sewage for the shop, so he's not allowed to open his shop. Literally, everything is now conspiring to make Marvin Heemeyer's life shit. Admittedly, part of it may have been his fault. Maybe. But you got to remember that he is being dicked over. And I think there's extra stuff in here that isn't on this page.
Yeah.
To do with the fact that I think his wife was ill or something like that as well, and like there was other stuff around the situation that was just not going well.
Yeah.
Right.
I can imagine the stuff he did mention. He found ways around it that did work, but it's just they weren't happy with it from the sounds of it.
Yeah. So Marvin starts to go a little bit crazy, right? And he starts leaving writings on the wall of his shed.
Oh God.
He records 3 audio tapes explaining his motivation for what would come later.
Well, at least he got into podcasting. That's one thing.
Yeah, way before anyone else was doing it as well. 1990s, fucking hell, brain.
Oh,
We're like full blown ahead of the time.
Oh, man. See, not all bad. And I'm sure it was all lovely, lovely content that was in there. Really positive stuff.
Oh, yeah. No swear words or anger at all.
Nope.
All purist comedy.
Yeah.
The tapes contain 2 separate recordings on each side for a total of 6 recordings. He filled 3 tapes with this shit. He mailed these to his brother in South Dakota shortly before stepping into what would later be referred to as his Kill-Dozer. Heemeyer's brother turned the tapes over to the FBI, who in turn sent them to the Grand County Sheriff's Department. The tapes were released on August the 31st, 2004. Tapes are about 2.5 hours in length each, and you can find them somewhere on the internet, I believe.
Okay.
In his first recording, Heemeyer said, "God built me for this job." He also said it was God's plan that he not be married or have family so he could be in a position to carry out such a tank. So forget my shit about the wife earlier. I think God will bless me to get out. I think God will bless me.
My life is shit on purpose. It's all for meaning. It's all interconnected. It's holistic, man.
Yeah. It's all coming from it.
Sorry,
okay. Yeah. I think God will bless me to get the machine done, to drive it, to do the stuff I have to do, he said. God bless me in advance for the task I am about to undertake. It is my duty. God has asked me to do this. It's a cross that I am going to carry, and I'm carrying it in God's name.
I feel like this story just took a bit more of a, what's the word for it? Manic undertone?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I feel like this took a turn. I feel like this story just took a turn in my eyes.
Investigators later found Heemeyer's written list of targets.
Yeah, okay. I didn't see it going
names. Yeah, and the names of various people who had sided against him in past disputes.
Oh God!
Notes found by him.
Nate, I thought you were going to be giving me a nice, interesting story here, but now I realise it's going to get just as dark as I thought. Okay.
It's not going to be quite that bad. Notes by investigators found the incident indicated that the primary motivation for the Bulldozer Rampage was his plan to stop the concrete plant being built near his shop. These notes indicated that he held grudges over the zoning approval. I was always willing to be reasonable until I had to be unreasonable, he wrote. Sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things.
Right. So he's an angel of death, first of all, and it's all come from a hatred of a concrete plant. That is so fucking random. Random. I'm guessing he definitely didn't drive his Kill-Dozer on any cement roads, concrete roads, sorry. That was an object.
He drove it in different places.
Okay. As long as he's stuck off the concrete, then I'm okay with him. I'm with him still.
I'm just sending you a little picture. There we go. That's what the Kill-Dozer looks like, if you want to show that up on the screen for people.
That is not what I imagined.
Yeah. Now I'm going to explain what it is when you see it on the screen, people.
It is coming. It's in my downloads folder. Go away, little thing that's making a point of it. I swear, from what I saw on it, it goes against everything I thought about it and everything I just said a moment ago, because it's just coming up now and it looks like it's made of fucking concrete.
Yeah.
Is that made of concrete?
Yeah, basically. Well, what it is he took a JCB and he just welded chunks of metal to the outside.
Oh, it's metal at least. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huge slabs of metal.
Fucking hell. And I'm sorry, it's on a concrete road, so I'm already not down with his plan anymore.
Yeah, so here's a little explanation. Heemeyer's bulldozer was a modified Komatsu D355A, which he referred to as the Mark tank, or the MK tank, sorry, in audio recordings. Fitted with makeshift armour, plating the cabin, engine, and parts of the tracks. In places, this armour was over 1 foot thick.
Fucking hell.
That is thicker than some tanks.
Wow. I'm trying to think of like something, that would be like a foot thick. That's got to be like a foot, isn't it, almost?
In width, yeah, that's about a foot, yeah.
Right, that way then.
Other way around, I mean.
Okay, yeah. Fucking hell.
Of just pure fucking metal.
So that shit is not going to get damaged.
No, not at all. No.
I never heard of this story. Fucking hell.
Yeah. But here's the thing. It wasn't just metal. You were right, Carl.
Oh God.
It was also quickcrete concrete mix sandwiched between tool steel. So it's steel, concrete, steel.
I suppose there's some poetic justice in there. He's going to kill them with their own creation.
Yeah.
There's some poetic license. Okay. Yeah. I'm back with him. I'm back with Mr. Marvin. Hey, Mia.
But this is literally, it's a composite armor system. Like that is stuff that you get in military grade shit, and he's done it in his back garden.
They go through different layers and that.
Yeah. This made the machine impervious to small arms fire and resistant to explosives.
Yeah,
three external explosions and more than 200 rounds of ammunition fired at the bulldozer had no effect on it.
Fucking hell. Yeah, looking at this, I am not fucking surprised. That looks like a beast. I'm sure it looks like it shouldn't even move, but I'm sure
it gets better. It gets better, bro. For the visibility, the bulldozer was fitted with several video cameras linked to 2 monitors mounted on the vehicle's dashboard. The cameras were protected on the outside by 3-inch shields of bulletproof Lexan, which is basically bulletproof glass.
I was literally going to say, well, that's the weak point, but no.
Okay. Compressed air nozzles were fitted to blow dust away from the video cameras, so even while he was wrecking shit up, he could still see. This guy had thought through every little part of how to make the ultimate death machine.
It's fucking kind of badass, really,
Yeah, bro.
He missed his calling going on Robot Wars, though.
Yeah, well, that would have fucking ruled, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Third Killer wouldn't have been able to do fuck all against that.
Yeah, just
kind of looks like Third Killer dead, actually.
It does, man. Yeah. Onboard fans and air conditioner were used to keep Heemeyer cool while driving. He had 3 gun ports fitted for a 50 caliber rifle, a .308 semi-automatic rifle, and a .22 rifle, all fitted with 1/2 inch thick steel plating.
Wow. Fucking hell, okay.
Yeah. Here's the other thing that's fucked up. Heemeyer had no intention of leaving the cab.
Oh, ever? Like, dying in there?
He welded himself in.
Fuck, you know. Right, but yeah, I mean, I'm guessing if you're doing a suicide mission, which is you're doing something where you don't want to get attacked, they're not getting into you, I guess. You're not getting out. But
Yeah.
fair enough. Fuck, you know.
Like, yeah, this guy's serious.
He really lost it then.
Authorities
really
initially
lost it.
speculated that he used a homemade crane found in his garage to lower the armor over the bulldozer himself. Once tipped,
Oh yeah.
once
That's
he
the point
tipped
you
that
want to
lid
focus
shut.
on. That's the point they
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
focus on. How they got the metal and all that onto it. Not why. Not what he's going to do with it. Not. Okay, yeah. We'll focus on that.
Yeah,
Stupid police.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting to observe that I was never caught, Heemeyer wrote. This was a part-time project over 1.5 year time period. This is while he was talking in the notes.
Yeah.
He was surprised that several men who had visited the shed late previous year had not noticed the modified bulldozer, especially with the 2,000 pound or 910 kilograms of lift fully exposed.
I've lift.
I don't know why that's written weird. It's Wikipedia. You can't expect it to be perfect. Somehow their vision was clouded.
I mean, I was thinking that how he managed to do all that without anyone noticing it, but at the same time, it's America, bigger spaces. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Especially if people are coming into the
Yeah,
garage and going like, "Oh, what's that giant bulldozer going over in the corner? Oh, that's just for a pet project. Ah, never mind then. Do you want to go down the pub?"
Yeah, because the thing is, you have to imagine these people that are in there and may have seen it would also be able to know that this guy probably isn't in the best mental state right now. He seems a bit off. What's all
He
this
ain't cool
writing on the walls?
Yeah. And what's this audio recording? Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Marvin, what have you been up to?
Why are the guns stacked up next to the fucking bulldozer?
Yeah. Now, on June the 4th, 2004, Heemeyer drove his armoured bulldozer through the wall of his former business, the concrete plant. Because by this point, he completely lost his I believe he'd completely lost his shop. It'd all been taken up and he'd lost everything. So he drove it through the wall of his former business, the concrete plant, and the town hall. The office of the local newspaper that editorialized against him, the home of a former mayor, in which the mayor's widow then resided, and a hardware store owned by another man, Heemeyer, named in a lawsuit, as well as a few others. Heemeyer had leased his business to a trash company and sold the property several months before the rampage. So he's like, you know what? They fucked me over. I don't have my fucking store anymore. I can't afford the 80 grand. I'll sell it to you pricks. You do whatever the fuck you want with it, and then I'm going to destroy you all. I'm going to use your money to build my death dozer.
I mean, same plan, I guess.
Yeah. Now, the attack lasted for 2 hours, 7 minutes. Not damaging 13 buildings, knocking out natural gas to the town hall and the concrete plant, damaging a truck, destroying part of a utility service center. And here's the thing. How much damage has Marvin done so far? 13 buildings. 13 buildings demolished by this guy in his Kill-Dozer.
So is that what he was planning to do more then? Okay.
How many people do you think he's killed?
Yeah, because you're saying that. I'm going to say none.
Correct. Marvin Heemeyer,
I'd assumed he would.
Despite the damage to property and despite having actual guns placed into his fucking, Kill-Dozer.
Yeah.
He simply shot himself in the head.
That's so random.
Yeah.
So, all right. I mean, it doesn't even make sense that it would be for defense or anything, or because he was never planning to leave.
Everything was done. His life was over. He didn't want anything else to do with these fuckers. They'd ruined his entire life. He knew that if he fucking did this, he was never coming back out of jail. And he didn't really want to go into jail. So Marvin Heemeyer did the one thing he knew he could do, and shot himself in the bonds.
Oh, I mean, he wouldn't have even gone to jail for that long. Like, he didn't murder anyone.
Well, he probably
Right.
would have gone to jail for at least 10 or 20 years or so,
Yeah.
something like that. But,
Okay.
like, this is...
So, it's really random.
It is.
Like, for that very reason, he sounded like a murdery, I'm going to destroy the world, angel of death thing, like
Yeah.
the whole religious stuff. And then he's just like, no, I don't want to kill anyone. I've got it all here.
This is what's so fascinating about Marvin Heemeyer. And it's what made him a bit of a sort of a hero to me and my mate. Like, he's not, yeah, you shouldn't try and emulate Marvin
Obviously
Heemeyer.
not,
You should
no.
never try, But, like, these guys, and, you know, as I say, if you read more into it, they really do dick him over. They did dick him over. They fucked up his business. He didn't have any way of paying that fucking money. They weren't giving any opportunity. He couldn't run his business unless he had the money to do that, but he also couldn't get the money to do that unless he could run his business.
Yeah.
You know? And there's this concrete shop turning up next door. He can't get any of his stuff through. He can't get any of his people through. There's this construction going on. And, like, he just said, fucking no, man. No. Fuck your rules, no.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, everything he did in regards to, if he didn't have the guns in there like he was going to do something, I'd be like, I like this guy. This guy didn't do anything wrong. Fair fucking dues.
But again, like, the only thing that sucks about it is the fact that he shot himself. And I kind of get why he did. But
That was
Marvin,
it was his end game, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Marvin, dude, we could have used a man like you.
Like, because that's, I mean, ignoring all like the, you know, like what he was going to, what maybe he had the idea in his head that he might have killed some of them, and then he just had an attack of conscience, which means he wasn't a bad guy then, really, and he probably did get really pushed to the brink. I can see that even more so in that case now.
There are some people who don't entirely agree with that version of it, so I do have to put that forward. Defenders of Heemeyer's contended he made a point of not hurting anyone during his Kill-Dozer Rampage. A bakery owner said Heemeyer went out of his way, as I say, not to harm anyone, actively avoiding them, trying not to drive through people to get to buildings and stuff like that. Well, admittedly, most people running out of the way of the Kill-Dozer.
Understandably.
Others had different
I feel like they must have had a bit of time as well, because I can't imagine that thing, you know, really went very fast.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that flying down the road.
Yeah, the sheriff's department tried to make the point of like, oh, well, you know, no one was injured due to luck. It wasn't really like Marvin's responsibility that no one died. It was more like, you know, he was lucky.
I could see no one died due to luck, but no one got injured. That feels like, you know, by design, really. Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't moving very fast. Like, he knew he wasn't going to cause any damage. Also, you know, the reason
Still
why...
luck too, because people could have got killed easily.
Yeah. Heemeyer had installed 2 rifles in firing ports on the side of the dozer and fired 15 bullets from his rifle at transformers and propane tanks. He had these tanks ruptured and exploded. Anyone within half a mile of the explosion could have been endangered, the sheriff's department said. Yeah, but that's not really what he was aiming to do, though, was he? He was aiming to cause destruction on a large scale. It's completely different. Also, we're not living in a fucking movie. Tanks don't just, fuel tanks don't just explode because you shoot them. That's not how physics works. You need an ignition.
Yeah, a lot of people don't forget about this concept, don't they? When you shoot a bullet at something, the explosion happens when you shoot the bullet. As soon as it leaves the gun, the exploding stopped.
Yeah, it's just a bit of metal now.
Yeah,
and unless it causes a spark, which it could do potentially, you're not actually going to ignite anything. You're just going to detonate the.
But you also need
more of the inside.
More of a spark than you think, because people also think that this idea of, like, you know, when you see like fuel or petrol on the floor, that you can drop a lit cigarette into it. It doesn't work. That don't work. It puts it out.
Yeah, although it sort of depends what environment you're in, because if you're inside a building, then it will work, but not because of the fuel on the floor,
Fumes.
but because of the fumes in the air. Exactly. Yeah.
But then it's still got to build up as well. So if you just pour
Exactly.
straight in, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many. There was something I was watching recently where they I think it was EastEnders. They turned on the hob in the kitchen to let the gas into the house to blow it up, and then literally 10 seconds later lit something. The whole house went up. It's like, how fucking quick did that happen?
How much gas do they use?
Yeah. And how is it the perfect amount of time as well? It was only in the house too. Didn't go any further.
Yeah.
There was somebody just outside. They were fine, naturally.
Yeah.
I know it's just fucking ridiculous. But yeah. Fucking dumb.
That's such an EastEnders way of killing someone off as well. It can't just be normal. No, it's got to be a fucking gas explosion.
Well, that was after the guy in question had already a few weeks earlier killed his girlfriend that he was beating on. He was a dickhead. He was beating on her, but then he killed her by accident after pushing her because she was doing the a dishwasher, and for some reason she put all the knives sticking up, and he pushed her. She fell over, fell onto the knives. So random.
Who the fuck does? No one ever stacks knives like that. That's not a thing that happens.
It shouldn't be.
All right,
but it was all really dumb. Really dumb.
Well,
even for EastEnders.
Yeah, well, they've written everything that happened ever now. There's nothing else left.
Oh man, I would never want to live in one of those places because people get murdered constantly. It's
so stupid.
It's worse than I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a really bad place. All was in my head was Palestine, and I was like, I don't think I should say that one.
No, not at the moment.
Isn't that starting to chill out from what I saw now? Or is that? I assume it'll pop off again very quickly.
It's sort of as chilled out as it's going to be, but yeah, it's not great.
Very weird. The people when I watched that, people were the people that lived there were accepting that this was the norm. It was so strange. Yeah, I find that really strange. But sorry, yeah, KillDozer.
I mean, the way that it's ridiculous over there, but yeah, that's
I want to understand what's going on over there. I don't know it.
I can tell you. I can give you a brief view of it. Basically, Israel and Palestine were both originally living in the same sort of place. They were Jews and Muslims living in the same area for ages and ages and ages. Then suddenly the UN after World War II came in and said, okay, the Jewish people need to have their own country, so we're going to make Israel be a thing. You have this land, you people of the Palestinians, you can go into this part of the land, but you'll live together in this sort of area. It'll all be fine. It'll all be a power sharing thing. It'll all be okay. Of course, that didn't happen. Israel ended up getting a huge amount of military backing and stuff like that because they're basically the only friends that America has in the area and things like that. So they just get huge amounts of funding. And then you end up with Israel doing things like aggressively expanding into Palestinian areas where they're not supposed to and building houses there, actual settlements on the West Bank where they're not supposed to fucking be. They do not have the right to be there by international law.
Yeah, they're over the border.
But they just keep fucking building there anyway and going, oh yeah, terribly sorry, no, this is our Jewish land, go away. And it's like, dude, why can't you just share the fucking place? And then Hezbollah turn up or Hamas turn up, sorry, and everyone's like, oh yeah, Hamas,
is that Hamas
evil terrorists? No, Hamas are the other ones. They're on the Palestinian side, and they've been voted in as their political people now. So they send off rockets, and whenever anyone sends off a rocket from Hamas, then Israel return with a fucking cruise missile strike. And realistically, it all just comes down to the fact that,
am I right in thinking a simplistic version of what I saw of it is both of them are not helping the situation, just going after each other?
Basically, and everything was fine until they divided it down this line, and then suddenly it became everything. And people love to sort of rag on Palestine and stuff like that, but Palestinians are locked in that country. They can't go out the other direction because they're on a border with someone who won't let them out. They can't go through Israel because they're on a border with someone who won't let them out. So they're literally basically in an open prison that's being cruise missiled every few
But that's
fucking
why
months.
they're so accepting about it when I was watching it, because
And yeah,
like, to them,
and that's
they're
why
like,
they
we
want,
can't do anything
yeah,
about it.
and that's
They
why
can't
they
go
vote
anywhere, sorry.
Hamas in. Yeah, and that's why they vote Hamas in, because they're stuck there, and it's like, well, we have nothing. We're getting fucked over constantly. We're going to vote Hamas in because Hamas are the only ones who are trying to actually do anything about it. And then it's like,
So is that
well, they
Gaza
kind
Strip
of
like the
are, but
meeting points of the thing I keep hearing about the Gaza Strip? Is that the meeting points of the two sides then?
yeah, Gaza
Basically.
Strip, yeah,
And that's where a lot of the shit kicks off because it's next. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Okay, I understand it
Yeah.
more and I understand it less because I understand it, I think.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's a pointless, stupid war that's been going on for too long, and people need to stop defending either side of it and just accept that it's a horrendous fucking thing and it needs to end.
I didn't realise that like a lot of the there's so many things in World War II where the borders when they put them together and all this stuff that has caused so much shit. Because I didn't realise the whole North Korea and South Korea thing was due to all of that, and the anger towards the Japanese as well from North Korea was due to the World War stuff. It's fucking crazy, man. It really is.
Yeah, World War II fucked up a lot of stuff. Mind you, World War One fucked up a lot of stuff and caused World War II. So
funny enough, funny enough, a war over the whole world will fuck shit up.
Yeah. That's why we've tried desperately to avoid it and instead started doing corporate Cold War instead.
Now sneaky wars and wars that are wars, but they like to pretend they're not wars, and
wars by proxy as well, where it's like, we're not going to fight Russia directly, but we will fight the people that Russia are funding, and the people that Russia are funding will fight the people that we're funding, but we're not fighting directly.
I found out some new stuff about the COVID stuff as well, about all the stuff we have. So remind me after the KillDozer episode. Oh, the KillDozer episode.
Speaking of which, 12 officers and residents of a senior citizens complex were within range of the supposedly potentially explosive fucking propane tanks, but quite frankly, at this point, the sheriff's department can go fuck themselves. Heemeyer's the man. Heemeyer fired many bullets from his semi-automatic rifle at Cody Dochief when Dochief tried to stop the assault on his concrete plant by using a wheel tractor scraper, which was pushed aside by Heemeyer's bulldozer. Yeah, this guy turns up with a fucking wheel tractor scraper, which, but if anyone,
I'm sure it's got a hell of a lot of horsepower.
Yeah, well, that's what it looks like. It's basically just
a big ass tractor.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not going to stop a fucking bulldozer.
Probably not a normal bulldozer, let alone that motherfucker.
Exactly.
That super big ass circular looking thing.
Yeah. Where was I?
Fucking hell. I bet the only reason he stopped is because he ran out of petrol. The amount of petrol it must cost him fucking to make that go.
Yeah. Oh, loads, dude. Yeah.
I just turned up to a petrol station. Give me a fill. Fill me up.
Yeah.
Heemeyer, put your hand through all the layers.
Yeah. I have also mentioned Heemeyer did also fire on 2 state patrol officers before they had fired at him. So Heemeyer did shoot at people, but he didn't shoot anyone. So I'm still counting this as a win.
Anyway, as we've learned, fuck the police.
Yeah, fuck the police.
Pop, 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 pop.
11 of the 13 buildings Heemeyer bulldozed were occupied until moments before their destruction. Again, it's a very slow-moving thing. He gave them more than enough time to realise what was going on.
Yeah. If they can't notice it coming towards them, then I don't know if that's their fault or his fault. I don't know.
In my head, it's the Monty Python bit from Holy Grail. You know, where he's like running across the fucking field, and he's like, ah. There's just the 2 guards standing there staring at him.
I've never
gets
watched
closer.
that all the way through. I know a lot of bits. I've seen a lot of. 'Tis but a flesh wound. That's great.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's literally just like one of them just charging across a field, and then he just sort of these 2 guards just sitting there staring like, and then you see him charging across the field again, still staring, and it just goes on for longer and longer. And each time he's come further towards you, he sort of starts further back again the next time. That's basically just got in my head just these two security guards standing outside of a building as this giant bulldozer just moves towards
Slowly.
them.
But I had that kind of same move at the same time, just to make sure everyone knew it was coming. He was also, while moving really slowly and loud, just playing the La Cucaracha theme as he came towards the horn. No, that's
Yeah.
no, that's what am I doing?
That's Woody. That's Woody the fucking woodpecker, mate.
Kind of.
I think you mean That's
what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah, we'll go with that anyway. That works. I started doing Nokia the first time, didn't I? I just realised.
So,
yeah.
It all starts to get to a bit of a head when the police get involved, and one of them drops a flashbang grenade down the bulldozer's exhaust pipe with no apparent effect. Yeah, I wonder why that didn't work. Oh, maybe because you've just thrown a flashbang, which is a notoriously non-destructive explosive, into a chunk of metal.
I know what will slow down this machine. Light.
Yeah, basically that.
The Trump way of doing it. Just shine UV lights into it. Shine them into it. It'll destroy it in a moment. It'll destroy it.
Yeah. So here's the best bit, right? Local and state patrol, including a SWAT team, walked behind and beside the bulldozer, occasionally firing. But the bulldozer was in purpose of the yeah, just literally walking past it like, bang! No, it's still can't shoot through it.
Every now and then, run to the front.
Bang! Yeah.
That's fucking amazing. The slowest moving death machine ever, and they just can't do fuck all about it. Yeah. As if they just didn't think about putting, like, I don't know, like, I feel like there's something you could have done about it. Like, just put, you got a concrete fucking factory down the road. Couldn't you just put some giant concrete blocks in front of it?
Or something, yeah. Or get a tank. Like, for God's sake. Like, the National Guard don't exist. Oh, God.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Attempts to disable the bulldozer's cameras with gunfire failed as the bullets were unable to penetrate the 3-inch bulletproof plastic.
Bullets can't penetrate bulletproof plastic? What a shock!
What a surprise! At one point, Undersheriff Glenn Trainer climbed atop the bulldozer and rode it like
the main sheriff was. Wait,
like
I'm sorry, I interrupted there. Say that again, because I just realised what you were saying.
This is a direct quote. Glenn Trainer climbed atop the bulldozer and rode it like, quote unquote, like a bronc buster trying to figure out a way to get a bullet inside the dragon.
Now, he was not figuring out shit. He was just riding it like a bronco buster. That's all he was doing.
It's just a great fucking time.
Get your VGA camera out, lads. I'm gonna ride this thing. Yeah!
Oh shit! He was, however, forced to jump out to avoid being hit with debris. Surprise, fucking surprise. At this point, local authorities and the Colorado State Patrol feared they were running out of options in terms of firepower, and that Heemeyer would soon turn against civilians in Granby. But we know that's not Heemeyer's fucking role. Heemeyer's a good man.
He wanted to make a point, and he made it.
God damn, did he make it.
Oh, yes.
Governor Bill Owens allegedly considered authorizing the National Guard to use either an Apache attack helicopter equipped with a Hellfire missile or 2-man fire team equipped with a Javelin anti-tank missile.
We're doing a giant fucking metal concrete block that's slowly plowing into things.
I so wish he hadn't shot himself, man. I so wish he hadn't.
Just imagine if he got out of prison and he made a sequel.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. Oh shit. Okay, so
he could make, like, I don't know, a giant mechanical suit while riding a hoverboard. He could be Iron Man on a hoverboard. That would be the only way to see. But he wouldn't
be able to fly because everything would be made out of concrete.
You have to put a track on the fucking hoverboard, though.
Yeah. Um,
I
so
love
yeah,
this man. I love this man.
this was quickly right. So the anti-tank missile was quickly deemed unnecessary, as Heemeyer became trapped in the basement of Gamble's hardware store. So
I was going to say
basically,
all I need to do was dig a hole, really.
yeah, he was driving through one of them, and of course the floor just caves in, and that's it. He's stuck there, and there's no potential way to get out.
See, the sequel, he could have, like with Robot Wars 2, if he'd have gone on to Robot Wars, he could have figured out a self-righting mechanism. That's all he'd have needed.
Yeah. God damn it.
Wow. I love this, man. I understand the holiday completely now, and I'm going to be celebrating.
Yeah. So, two problems arose as Heemeyer destroyed the Gamble's hardware store. The radiator of the bulldozer had been damaged, and the engine was leaking various fluids. The bulldozer's engine failed, and Heemeyer dropped one tread into the store's basement, but could not get it out. About 1 minute later, one of the SWAT team members who had swarmed around the machine reported hearing a single gunshot from inside the sealed cab. It was later determined that Heemeyer had shot himself in the head with a .357 caliber handgun. The police first used explosives in an attempt to remove the steel plates, but after the third explosion failed, they cut through them with an oxyacetylene cutting torch, as that was the only way in.
Okay, they went for the fucking explosives first.
Yeah.
Go for the fucking explosives first. Rather than the little thing that, like would make more sense. Get it in. Probably get the body out, get whatever's in there out as well, so they can look at it and actually figure out what was going on. But their first instinct, blow it up. Yeah.
The fate of the bulldozer. On April 19th, 2005, the town announced plans to scrap Heemeyer's bulldozer. Bearing in mind this was 4 years later, so that bulldozer was just sat there as a fucking badass monument to Heemeyer's madness. The plan involved dispersing...
They should make it into a fucking... They should turn it into a tourist attraction.
Here's my favourite bit. The plan involved dispersing individual pieces into many separate scrapyards to prevent souvenir taking. Or, as I'd like to prefer to think about it, so that Marvin Heemeyer's soul would not recombine with the vehicle to go on another rampage.
It does sound like the start of some terrible, terrible but amazing horror film.
It really does, doesn't it?
Hellraiser 17.
Marvin Heemeyer 2, Kill-Dozer.
It can't. You know what? This keeps reminding me of the episode of Simpsons when Bart's in the tank. Do you remember that? I don't know why.
That might actually have a lot of connections to it, because of course this was 1991 when this. Oh no, yeah, 2001, 1991. I don't know when that episode came out, but.
Oh, when the episode came off.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the year was now, and I've just read it out for fuck's sake.
Huh?
Where was it?
Oh, when that stuff happened? I think you said 2001 was when.
Yeah, 2004. So yeah, could have been fairly late. I don't know whether they'd done the episode by then or not. They might well have done. In fact, it might have inspired Heemeyer.
He might have done. Yeah, it might have gone the other way around. Actually, yeah.
just in the bulldozer just before he pulls the trigger. Eat my shorts. Bang.
Mate, you know what? They really miss a trick there, though, because they should literally use that as like a tourist attraction. Because I imagine this has to be a small town. Yeah. I can't imagine it's a big town. If there was no casualties whatsoever, like if you did this in a full city, like you could be as careful as hell, but you'd probably kill someone. You'd very much hurt someone. Yeah, quite a few people.
Yeah. What I find funny as well is it's just he's just such an everyman kind of guy. You know what I mean?
He's basically like Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
Bob Lazar building rocket fucking cars in his garage. He's building fucking Kill-Dozers in his garage. Maybe he was in the same. Maybe he was in the same team as Bob Lazar.
Maybe I'd be fine with that.
I'd be fucking great with that. Yeah.
That'd be hysterical. Just Bob Lazar and fucking Marvin just working together. The Lazar Heemeyer connection.
Well, no, to be fair, if Lazar was involved in it too, that thing would have fucking flew with some rockets in the back as well. It would have been special, man.
But yeah, that's
a
the
crazy
story
one,
of
man, that is.
Marvin Heemeyer, man, and that is why on June the 4th, I invite all of you to celebrate Marvin Heemeyer Day.
What day is that again? That's the
Mar-
I was hoping
yeah,
that would be the
June
day I
4th.
was at Hollybush.
Oh
I
no.
would have talked about it like it's the real holiday.
Yeah.
I might still anyway.
Yeah, do it. Oh shit.
I'll put it away.
Yeah.
That's a
Marvin
really cool.
Heemeyer Day, man.
I can't believe it's one of those ones that it's like when you like this kind of stuff, you always assume, oh, there's not going to be new ones that I've never heard of. Like, you know, never heard a single bit of that before. No, all of that is completely new to me.
Such a good story as well, man. I love it so much.
And it's kind of lovely too because no one actually died. The guy didn't.
No one
like
dies.
The guy didn't seem like that bad of a dude. Like, you know, made some bad. It wasn't the best idea. It wasn't the
made
most
some terrible decisions. Got fucked over along the way, but made some terrible decisions.
Some amazing ones too.
Yeah.
Got very lucky.
Yeah.
Because we can talk about it like this now.
Yeah. Oh God, could you imagine though? Could you imagine if he hadn't taken that shot and they had to use an Apache helicopter? It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, he fucked himself over too. I assumed it would have been he ran out of petrol or they managed to stop him in some way. I didn't think that it would have ended because he just fucking went into a basement. He went into a hole. That's it.
Yeah.
It was
literally,
like,
you could not stop him. He was unstoppable apart from by gravity.
So he basically just has the only same weaknesses that the original Daleks had. The only thing.
Yeah, can't go upstairs. In fact, he looked pretty much like a Dalek in that.
To be fair, yeah, let's have a look at it again before we finish.
One last look at the Kill-Dozer. Look at that beauty.
That's why it's got a fucking chimney on the top.
Oh, that's where the cameras were. I think they were mounted on that. I think.
That's so smart, though. Everything he'd thought about everything, like every tiny
really
little thing.
Yeah.
Apart from what he was going to do with the guns in there, I guess.
Well, he did use them. He did use them to scare people and shit, you know, and shoot at fucking propane tanks. But he didn't actually kill anyone with them, which is, again, just what makes him such a lovely dude. A lovely fucking mass madman.
If it was like the nearest thing we have to a legitimate vigilante.
I know, right?
With a Batman rule.
Imagine? Yeah, he didn't kill anyone. He is basically Batman.
Yeah, that was his fucking what kind of thing? Batmobile. How the hell did it take me so long to think of that name? That's his Batmobile. Like the what is it? The why can I not think of names? Yeah, the Dark Knight, but what's it?
Yeah.
Chris Nolan. Right?
Yeah, the Tumbler. Yeah,
that thing. Fucking hell.
That thing was mad.
That's a real thing, though.
You know when they made that, like they originally went to an American company and they're like, "Could you make this for us?" And they're like, "That's fucking impossible. No, of course we can't." And then they went to a British company. Yeah, and they went to a British company office like, "Could you do that?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Of course we fucking can. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. Why the fuck wouldn't we?
Oh, I fucking love that though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the thing that I was going to say? Oh yeah, the COVID thing that I was going to say after.
Yes.
I'd finish this off on a lovely positive note. Have you seen the thing? Like, you know, when we've spoken a lot about this with the whole COVID stuff, we don't understand. Like, I, for ages anyway, did not understand this. Didn't up until a few days ago why nobody seemed to be going in on China trying to figure out where this came from and why nobody's, you know, just bitching about it because it's fucked the world up so much. And obviously, when I say that, you generally mean England and America because superpowers and all that. Apparently, so there is a lot of evidence that it did actually come from this Wuhan lab now. There's an actual name for it. I can't remember the fucking name. But there's also come out that basically the press secretaries that were doing the stuff at the time have openly admitted now that because basically Trump was the one that came with this idea that it came from a China lab, that because they were so anti-Trump at that time, that they just writ it off completely and just assumed it was all bullshit, despite actual evidence that maybe that wasn't the case, but they were like, no. And it seems now that the reason that it might have been covered up a bit is because that lab in question, I didn't realize this, it's a Chinese-run lab, but American-owned.
Yeah, American funded. Yeah.
So
and
that
it has
makes
a sister
so much
lab
sense
in
now.
America. Yeah.
That makes so much sense now why they wouldn't be going in on them, because America is like, well, it was connected to them.
Yeah.
So they're just as much in regards to it. And then England too, because we're connected to America. It makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah.
And that's kind of horrific, to be honest.
It doesn't surprise me. That's the thing.
That's the
It doesn't
worst part.
surprise me at all. And then you see all the other stuff going around it, like, oh, COVID doesn't exist, COVID's this, COVID's that, and that seems like, the stereotypical version of a what do you call it, a false flag operation, where it's just like, don't look over here, don't look over here, this is all bollocks. Look over here, this thing, as opposed to look at the obvious thing over here, which is this shit came from a lab and people were involved. That's what's important. Never fucking lose sight of that. Never fucking lose sight of that. Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of like just basic evidence anyway, because I mean, one of the most basic things they said about it is it's like, weak in UV, it can't survive in UV light, and that could never happen to a naturally evolved virus out in the wild. Yeah, because the sun's fucking everywhere. The only way that can happen is if you're in a lab that doesn't have the sun shining down all the time on you.
Yep. And also, if you're testing on it and you've genetically modified it, because you don't need to look at that kind of thing, so you maybe got a different other thing that you're trying to use it for, or maybe that's just a thing that you've left in because it's easier for you to quote unquote clean the lab afterwards. Just bathe it all in UV light and call it a day.
Yeah. But I mean, that's putting a lot of. I mean, I think about that story, and then it makes me think about the one you said about with the anthrax with Russia and that. I mean, I would be shocked to find that there was any, like, because that lab as well had already had leaks like 3 times in the past or something. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, places do leak this kind of shit all the fucking time. It's just for the vast majority of the time, it doesn't cause a global pandemic. It just causes a single solitary outbreak somewhere that fucks up a lot of people really badly, but doesn't get any further.
It's one of them you're hearing about it. Like, it sounds like nothing's going on to make it change. And it's like, it actually seems like nothing is actually being done to make it not happen again.
Yeah, nothing.
Like, nothing.
Nothing.
This was a depressing note.
But don't worry about it, Cole.
Man.
Don't worry about it, Cole, because if it all goes crazy and if it all goes really, really wrong, we'll all just get into our Kill-Dozers and finish them off.
Makes as much fucking sense.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck the world. Fuck the world. Fuck the world.
I think that's it, isn't it? That's basically the episode, I think. That's
definitely the episode. I'm just now thinking, I came into this thinking, maybe, you know what, people are cool, actually. No, they're not. People aren't cool.
Yeah, they are. Because
I don't know, people are amazing,
like Marvin
actually,
Heemeyer. Yeah. Remember that, Carl?
But then people are terrible.
For all of the chunks of shit that are walking human entrails out there, just remember that there's a small percentage of those people are like Marvin Heemeyer.
How terrible is it that in today's world, you saying that about the Kill-Dozer man made me feel a bit better.
I know, yeah.
It actually made me feel a bit better. Thank you. Right then, I am going to roll in now. I think, I don't know. There's a way you could have. You end it. You get to the end.
Okay. Well then, that was the story of Marvin Heemeyer and the Kill-Dozer that was probably my favourite machine that ever existed.
Oh, I don't know about that. There's a lot of dildo machines that are quite cool. You go on Pornhub, there's a lot of cool ones.
Yeah.
Some of them are bedazzled and everything.
And some of them go up to really high RPM as well. Like, it's impressive.
Check out Big Titty Got Eggs. She has some good ones.
Fucking hell. This is the thing as well. There's people out there who've got entire fucking collections of that shit. You're just like, just collections and collections. This one, oh, that one's a special one. That one's an outlawed model. You can't really at that level of fucking speed anymore.
You know what I would totally do if it was me? I was on like what's it called again? OnlyFans, and you had one of them set up. It's like you need to set it up to connect to your computer, and you told them it's like the more and more donations I get, the quicker it will go, the more it will vibrate. It's all hooked up. Let's do it.
Yeah, those videos exist though, don't they? Where there's
I'm
like
sure they fucking do.
There's a woman with the thing in her, and every time someone sends a tip, it vibrates it a bit more.
Is that actually a thing?
Like, that is actually a thing.
Oh,
There's
wow,
like
okay.
you just every time you hear the sort of ding, you'll just hear like ding, ding, ding as people are paying money. It's just getting more and more intense and shit.
See, that's
It's quite fun to watch.
It's kind of boring unless you were sat in a public place at the time.
They've done those as well. Yeah, they've done those as well. Yeah,
it's kind of like mixing Pornhub and Impractical Jokers. I'm down for that.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's a great fucking idea for a film. Not a film, for a series. You could put that on late night at Comedy Central, couldn't you? Like X-rated
definitely.
fucking
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, but like fucking you know Patrick Lamington Vale.
Yeah.
He's been we were talking before, and he wants to do it like when well now I guess is when all this stuff stops. It's like doing like Impractical Joker type stuff and all that kind of thing. I really want to do that. I'd be so up for that. It'd be so. I mean, not putting a vibrator in me, and then the more and more people doing that. Whoa!
No.
Depends how much they donated, I guess.
Carl, no one wants to see that. I like.
No, I hope not. I'm sure there's some people out there that would. That do.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is. I hope there is.
Everyone's got.
No, but like the actual, like just doing like that kind of shit. God knows how it would work logistically, but it'd be amazing to do.
Yeah,
the actual Impractical Joker stuff, not the porn stuff.
No, I know. You just need a lot of lavalier mics and a camera, really. That's all you really need.
I know the main thing they do is, you know how they're always walking around when they're doing the stuff to holding a coffee cup?
Yeah.
There's a microphone in the coffee cup.
Yeah,
I know that.
Smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you that because I'm going to make everyone get involved in it. So.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm starting to desperately need a wee. So what we're going to do for now, I think, is say farewell. I guess. Got anything else you want to plug, bro?
No. I was just when I said to you get to the ending, I meant get to the point where we're going to somehow figure out what feels like a natural way to say that if they were going to kill them in a Kill-Dozer, then don't kill them with guns. Don't kill them. We need a better ending now. We need a better ending.
That's it. Remember, people, if you're having a bad day and you just want to take some motherfuckers out, Kill-Dozer with them with comedy.
That was good. Okay, now we're done. Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Now we're done.
Doesn't get better.
Cheers, guys.
Peace.